All right, welcome to the fourth episode of Talk Story. Today is February 2nd, Friday, February 2nd. We're excited to be here again doing this.
6:03.
It is 6:04 p.m. on the East Coast. And clearly today I'm not with Chris. This is Anouck. And Anouck will be the co-host, special co-host today. We're very excited that she can make it. And excited to have a female representing the surf community out here.
Woo!
If you guys want, you can check out the blog, thankyousurfing.com. We've got some of the previous episodes 1, 2, and 3 out there. Also on Thank You Surfing, we've got Lou Lozada's local lens. All of his photos went up on the blog this week. We also put out some surfboards for sale and also a board bag. If anyone's taking a trip anytime soon, there's a board bag on there for a really good price. And yeah. Tomorrow, Surfrider Foundation Miami is going to have a party at Olita River, and they'll be showing a movie about surfing in Cuba. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Check that out tomorrow night. Surfrider Miami is having the party over there. Are you gonna go to that party?
I'm gonna try my best.
You're gonna try your best. I have a feeling that depends on whether you're surfed out or not.
Exactly. Maybe cardio.
What else we have going on this week? Anything else going on?
No.
That's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, a surf recap. We have had a lot of waves. Did you surf?
Yes, I did. After work. What about you?
I surfed a bunch. This week was kind of an interesting one. That swell that came in was mostly a north swell, and the wind was supposed to get on it, but never really got on it as bad as we expected. So it was a little bit of a happy accident in terms of that. And then the thing that was most surprising, at least for me, was that the swell lasted for a few days.
For 2 days.
Yeah, and that's not very often that we get a swell to last a couple of days, let alone one that's not like ginormous and then like leftovers the next day. Usually we're in that situation. This time it was kind of like chest high, shoulder high for a couple of days in a row. Pretty fun.
And it got good in the evening too.
Oh, which is nice
good
for all the working people out there getting out after 5 p.m. That's pretty awesome. I know I surfed both evenings actually. I only surfed one morning, but it was good conditions. Very good for here. We had a lot of waves. Not too many people in the water. Not too many people jockeying, so that was kind of good. And what do we got coming up? We got some wind swell for tomorrow. Should have been blowing already, so maybe a little bit delayed on that wind swell for the weekend. We'll be posting in the morning early, but not really expecting too much early. Probably more later in the day. So Anouck, do you want to show everybody your handles and your website, because I want everybody to know where they could reach you. You can hold that up so they can find you.
Alright, you can find me as Anouck Jorda on Instagram, just my name, ANOUCKJOURDAA. And this is also the name for my website. And as an artist, my name is Noon.
Alright, sweet.
Thank you.
So here's something that we wanted to talk to Anouck about, because I started to learn to surf when I was a teenager, like maybe 13 years old, 14 years old. I know that is not the case for you. You learned to surf much later in life, and I'm interested to kind of hear how that went and how did you decide even to get into it?
Okay, so I grew up in France, in the Basque Country, where we have very nice waves but for a limited amount of time, maybe 3 months in the season. The rest of the time is pretty unrewarding with a lot of cold weather and choppy waves. So I body surfed and bodyboarded all my childhood, and then I moved to Miami for job reasons, and I just couldn't see any bodyboarding material. I didn't even know you could actually surf or catch waves in Miami. So I started surfing because bodyboarding was not an option. And so I started surfing in my early 30s, and I've been surfing for 7 years now.
how did you actually, like, did you go out and buy a board day one, or how did that all kind of,
Okay, I was very lucky. The first time I went out was with a colleague at work. I'm a teacher, and one of my colleagues told me there are actually waves in Miami, so she lent me a board twice.
Nice.
And the first year I was in Miami, I lived in Coconut Grove and I surfed twice. That's it. I went to the beach twice. And then one of my neighbors was a surfer and he was moving out, and I saw him. He had 7 boards and he was loading up his car and ready to move. And I went to see him and I was like, would you sell me one of your boards? And he told me, no, I don't sell surfboards. And I was very disappointed. And I actually did something very sweet the next day when he was gone, and I opened my door in the morning. He had left me one of his surfboards.
Get out, really?
So yeah.
That's how you got your first surfboard?
My first surfboard was a gift from a neighbor that I never got to thank because I never saw him again. He moved out that night and he left me his board. That board was pretty beat up. It was, I surfed with it with tape for a year because I didn't know it was bad to have water get into the board. And I still learned how to surf with it, and I'm thankful because it was a gift.
That is incredible. I can't believe that your first surfboard was just gifted to you by like an anonymous stranger.
Yes,
more or
and
less.
I don't even know his name, and I never got to thank him. But thank you if you
That is so
ever
cool.
recognize me.
All right, so you get this board, and then like, how did you even determine when to go surfing, or what the hell happened next?
Okay, I think the reason why you know me is because I'm not picky at all. I just paddle out in anything, any wave, and I still think surfing is a therapy for me. It's more being in the water and catching whatever. So
you just go?
I just go, and sometimes there are
Even when you started?
Yes.
You just like go like
Yes.
on any random Saturday after
The
work or
thing
something?
is that because of my past, I bodyboarded a pretty good size when I was a child. I don't have fear of any conditions. But because I was a beginner, I just thought I paddle out in anything. So if there is not maybe just, half a foot, I still paddle out.
That's definitely the case. So I can't imagine it being very easy to learn how to surf in Miami, one, and then learning how to surf is not easy at all to begin with. So there's a lot of commitment that is involved with that. How did you deal with that, and how did you become so committed to it?
Okay, it was gradual. I used to be a late riser, so I've changed in the past 4 years thanks to surf trips with friends, and I just realized that it's actually nice. Early bird does catch the worm, so it's worth it to get up early. I realized that watching the sunrise when you're surfing is a blessing, and that you get beautiful conditions when you commit to getting up early. I've taken more surf trips up north also in the past 4 years.
We're in Florida, by the way, if you guys don't realize where the heck we all are.
Okay, I do have my membership card for Fort Pierce Parks. I love that spot. I really like the crowd there.
So you basically just wake up early?
I wake up early, sometimes as early as 4 a.m. We check the forecast with my friend Fulvia, and we just go up north and surf there at sunrise.
So you'll leave here at 4 a.m., drive it takes about 2 hours to get there to Fort Pierce. You'll be there actually before the sun rises.
Yes.
And
just surf before everybody gets there, which is around 8 a.m. It gets really crowded.
That is definitely a kind of like rite of passage as a surfer in Florida.
Yes.
It's the trip up coast.
And we've gotten to like Jupiter too. We have cool friends there. The guy that shaped my board is also from Palm Beach.
What's the
Crowd
shaper?
Control.
Crowd Control Surfboards. What's up? Shout out.
And
that's kind of funny, like
there.
I know I'm interviewing you in a way, but I have taken trips up coast with you guys, and everywhere that I go with you, you guys know people. Like, people paddle over, big smiles on their faces, give you high fives, and it's not limited to like one spot. And so I guess you guys have been going to all these spots enough times where
Yes.
people that live there and surf there regularly know that you surf there regularly. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
it's a
I
strange.
think we've been regulars up there for the past 3 years.
So
every time there are waves, we go up. That's it.
That's your life, huh?
Yeah.
That is definitely very dedicated. But you also have traveled other places.
Yes.
So what places have you traveled since you've been surfing? What surf trips have you taken, and what have?
Okay.
Like, how did that all go down? Because that's a
Alright.
whole other rite of passage. I mean, learning to surf is one thing as a Miami, and then realizing that you can go up coast like 2 hours or
Mhm.
3 hours and see different conditions entirely.
That was an epiphany.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
and then
that.
if you get on an airplane, you go 2-3 hours in another
Uh-huh.
direction. It's a whole other scenario.
Okay, so my first trip, I see Miguel joined the group, maybe he's still here.
Uh-huh.
My first surf trip was with Miguel. He's a neighbor, and I met him doing my laundry. I didn't know him, and I really did not know him. I had seen him literally once.
So you met a guy doing laundry.
And he told me, I'm going to Costa Rica next week, do you want to join? So I actually joined him, and that was my first surf trip to Playa Grande, close to Tamarindo. And we had a great time, and it was 2 weeks with a complete stranger. My friends were like, you're crazy. But it started a series of surf trips, and I've never stopped since then. That was back in 2012. And I'm a teacher, so every summer I've committed to going somewhere where I haven't surfed before.
Okay, so where else is that taking you?
Okay, so Costa Rica 3 times, Nicaragua twice, Indonesia, Salvador with Valentina, which was a very cool surf trip because she organized a surf contest with other people, and she linked it to a very nice, how would you call that, community development, passing out school supplies.
Wait. Okay, so wait.
Okay,
So
too
wait.
much.
Yeah, I'm trying to take this all in. So you've been surfing since 20...
I would say 2010.
2010. And since then, you've been to Costa Rica how many times? Nicaragua?
3 times, Nicaragua twice, Indonesia for a month and a half.
Indonesia for a month and a half there first. Catch that one?
I also fly back home, which is the Basque Country, Biarritz in France, every summer almost. So I've gotten to surf my childhood spots.
Okay, so she's
Pretty
basically
good.
got like the hit list of all the spots you want to go surf in the world.
Hopefully,
And
working on it.
you've hit a number of them already in your short surfing career. So what is it like going to some of these places? I mean, actually, I want to back up for a second. So there's not that many girls that surf in the lineup here. So I imagine that being a girl in the lineup has got to be somewhat of a thing. And then going to other countries and surfing must be a whole other thing. How do you think that affects you in terms of travel, in terms of being in the lineup? Because I mean, there's a difference.
Okay, I would say that I was scared to travel on my own the first time I did it, and looking back, I'm very glad.
Okay, where'd you go?
First time, actually, I was on a trip with you and Miguel and other people, and when you guys had to go back to work as a teacher, I had all this summer, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stay. So I ended up staying in Nicaragua. I went from this world-class mansion, 5-star surf trip to a very laid-back surf trip. I was in a surf hotel for $10 a night, and I stayed there for a month. And that was my
You were there
first,
for a month after us?
Yes, and that was my first time, and I made friends that I still have to this day. Some in Australia, some in Palm Beach, and I just realized that this is what I want to do every summer.
Let's just go on a month-long surf
Yeah.
trip. I
Yeah,
think that's
because
what
you
most
get to
people want
connect.
to do.
You know, the surfing world is unique in that sense, is that you can travel on your own and not feel lonely. And even as a girl,
Yeah, I
I
guess
never
that's
felt
true.
I was in danger, because you connect with people in the water, and then you get out the water and you see all these people, and they welcome you because you share the same passion. I never felt I was in a dangerous situation.
Really?
Yeah, and I felt very welcomed, and I don't know, there's something about traveling on your own where you're more open to other people.
Yeah.
And I've met amazing people that are committed to changing the world or being involved in their community, and just very down to earth people. I like that about surfing and traveling on your own.
Wow. That's an intense,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's intense.
wow, I mean, that's pretty intense that you've gone through all that stuff just through surfing.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, and looking back, I would probably not be as happy if I hadn't shifted to this lifestyle.
That's pretty interesting. Actually, I was thinking when I found out you were going to be a guest, I was kind of wondering if surfing has an impact on, I mean, you mentioned you're a teacher, but you're also an artist. So I'm wondering if you had some sort of connection through your art and surfing, or how was there interplay there? Because I know I'm an entrepreneur, so when I go out in the water sometimes, it's to try to disconnect from work.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, sometimes I'll wind up thinking through things while I'm like duck diving or like getting worked or who knows what.
Yeah.
But there's something that definitely happens to me and my psyche with everything that goes on in my life. But how does that affect your like creativity, or do you get inspiration from it?
Okay, usually when I travel, I sketch. So I bring a sketchbook, and the travel sketch that I have are influenced by the travel that I took. So, for example, the whole month and a half I stayed in Indonesia, my sketches reflect the colors, the culture, whatever I saw there. I also sketch a lot of female surfers or women in movement. I also have a whole blue series that is connected to the ocean. I like to draw drops. And
So
things
that's
like
the
that.
connection to the blue series. That makes
Yes,
sense.
It's connected to the ocean.
Yeah, no,
and how
totally.
it makes me feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just this is actually a very nice way to feel at peace for me. When I travel on my own, I don't always interact with people, even if I end up always meeting new people.
Mm-hmm.
But all the time alone that I have, I get to sketch and meditate. I guess sketching is my way of feeling home anywhere, even if I'm in a foreign country.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if I have stuff like that. Brushing my teeth in the morning. I got that, I guess.
I also have painted on several surfboards. The two surfboards that I have my paintings.
And then you did that on a trip?
No, these okay, the latest one that I have, I got to work with Brett Prince for crowd control, and he let me sketch and paint on the boards before he put the last layer, so that's even better. I really like that collaboration to give it a nice finish. And I also got to paint a mural in Salvador, the place where we stayed. The owner of the place, Lily, asked me to paint, so I collaborated with what's his name, the one that has the boat, the firefighter that retired. I forgot his name. Well, I got to paint with him. He painted the wave behind, and I painted one of the surfers. So they have that in the background, and everybody that stops there and stays with them sees that painting.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a mural that we did together.
So I guess it does wind up being very connected after a while.
Yes, and I think I'm still in touch with one of the French guys that is there in that community in Punta Mongos in El Salvador. And he asked me to come and join some of the youth there that are doing paint work.
Oh, cool.
So when I do go back there, it will be
When
part
are you
of
gonna
the
set that
things we
up?
do.
That sounds like a good idea.
I don't know, this summer we're trying to do the Maldives. We'll see. Every summer is
There's a lot of places to go.
so many places.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thankful for that.
All right, so there's one other thing that I wanted to get into you before we get out of here, and that is Anouck will surf the smallest waves that you've ever seen. And I'm not even talking about small waves. I'm talking about probably doesn't even
Non-existent.
yeah, non-existent waves. as a matter of fact, they're called Anoukable. It's when it's like, well, it's sort of something, but it's not really a wave, but you'll be out there. All right, so first question is like, why the hell do you bother? Second question is, does it help your surfing? And the third question is, just maybe two.
Okay. Why do I bother? It
Yeah.
makes me happy.
Okay, so going out, even when it's barely
I
rideable.
think, there's some of us surf for the performance, some of us surf for the peace inside. I
Okay.
think I'm one of these people
I guess so.
that need to connect with the ocean and with nature to feel complete, and that's what it gives me. If I'm out there paddling, even if I'm by myself, I actually enjoy being by myself out there. It's another thing than competing for waves in a busy lineup.
That's true.
Just watching the colors, enjoying the ocean is part of the experience. I don't care how small the wave is. If I'm in the water, I'm already winning. So that part, if I see a little something and if I know I'm gonna spend an hour feeling the elements, I don't care if the wave is not significant for most surfers, I will still enjoy it and feel better after. To me, for example, I cannot jog. I hate jogging. You
I
cannot,
hate jogging too.
you cannot make me
I
put
do it
sneakers on
sometimes.
and go. I would do it for the benefits of it, but I would rather paddle out and feel the benefits of being in salty water.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
the paddling and
Don't you get frustrated though? It's like when it's not. I'm trying to like imagine you paddling out in the smallest days that I've seen you do it. I mean, it's barely a ripple, and sometimes not even coming consistently, and you just sit there and wait. It has to be
I
frustrating.
don't wait that much actually. That's the thing about small days in Miami, and I think it's unique to this spot,
Maybe.
is that small days still can keep you pretty busy. Like you can be going back and forth, and I can literally catch 50 waves in an hour. They might be very small, but I still did my workout and paddle back and forth, and I feel great after.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you take it from that perspective,
Yeah,
it's
it's a workout for me. I don't do much exercise other than surfing. So I take it as when you do push-ups in the gym, I would get extremely bored. I would have to commit to going to the gym and mingle with people. I'd rather be out there and
not
enjoy
mingling with
nature.
people.
It's something very reassuring about, being out there and embracing it and breathing. It's almost like meditation actually.
Yeah, I can buy that. I understand that aspect of it.
And it's
You just
not,
take it to a whole
yeah,
other
it's a
level.
spiritual thing. I'm sure if you talk to Kenny, I don't think he's on Instagram, but Kenny, our neighbor, who's always out there in the smallest waves,
Yeah.
or Jose, who you joined earlier, this is about feeling connected. It's not just catching a wave. And also, you can connect that to the fact that I started surfing very late in my life, so I did not get used to surfing perfect waves. I still feel I am improving because I'm paddling out, and it is paying off. I've
definitely.
been-
There's
I've
definitely
improved
that
because
aspect
of that
it,
paddling.
for sure. I mean, the more time you spend in the water, the better
Yeah,
surfer you will
I
be.
feel
There's no
even
question.
minor details like my imperfect takeoff, but still, by being out there in small waves, I am improving it. I am understanding how the wave goes and
That's true.
faster movements. Just even when it's breaking very fast, grabbing the rail, these are things you realize. To me, it's like going on an easy slope when you're skiing. You're practicing basic skills by just being out there paddling out, no matter what the conditions are.
That was a very good analogy. Have you been working on that?
No.
That was a good one. I come from like a skiing and snowboarding background, so I'm like, oh yeah, she's right.
Yeah.
There is kind of that too.
Well, I never was a good skier. I didn't get enough practice, but the maybe 4 or 5 ski trips I took, I tell people leave me there on the, I don't know how you call it, children's slopes.
Yeah, the
I'll
bunny
spend
slope.
I'll spend 2 days on that, leave me alone, and then I'll join you for the rest of the trip. And to me, this is like my bunny slopes. I do that, I have fun. I'm by myself, I'm doing what I need to do. My body is remembering things, like working on muscle memory. And believe it or not, when I surfed bigger waves in, oh, I forgot Mexico. I went to Mexico twice. I went to Mexico twice. I surfed pretty big waves there, and whatever I practice here in South Beach in small waves came in handy.
That's hard to argue.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen over time. Like you're
And I'm a
definitely
teacher.
progressing.
You do your homework, it pays off.
I can't top that. All right, let's end this thing here then. Kids, do your homework. So I want to thank Anouck for joining us today. It's been really fun doing this with Anouck as the co-host. Show everybody your handle again so they can follow you on Instagram and check out our art. As you heard earlier, some of it's ocean inspired, so you guys might like that stuff. And this will be up on Thank You Surfing along with all the previous episodes that we've had shortly. If you guys like it, you can subscribe on YouTube. We do have that. And comment or let us know how we're doing. If you guys want to talk about stuff next time, or you hate this and we should just stop.
Don't say that.
We're here for the people, right?
Yes.
Thanks again, Anouck.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time, guys.
Ciao.